Good morning, Hampton Academy Sharks.
Today is Friday, May 26, 2017.
I'm Bella Russell.
And I'm Erin Dowd.
Today's an A day or a white day.
In honor of Memorial Day, we take this moment to quote former President Barack Obama.
These comments were made during a Memorial Day observance at Arlington National Cemetery.
My fellow Americans, this hallowed ground is more than the final resting place of heroes. It is a reflection of America itself.
It's a reflection of our history, the wars we've waged for democracy, the peace we've laid to preserve it.
It's a reflection of our diversity, men and women of all backgrounds, of all races and creeds and circumstances and faiths, willing to defend and die for the ideals that bind us as one nation.
It's a reflection of our character.
Today, a grateful nation pays tribute to those who have died in service to our country.
All students participating in the Memorial Day program should report to the upper gym at the end of homeroom. 8th grade band students should bring their instruments and music in order to prepare for this morning's assembly.
The Lane Library is looking for teens who would like to staff the book cart at Hampton Beach this year. The library will be doing this in conjunction with a children's story time led by Miss Paulina. For this program, teens are ambassadors of the library and they will hand out free books to beach visitors. Teens can pick up a form at the library and return it to Stacy. Contact her at the library.
The Lane Memorial Library will be running their Summer Reading Buddies program again this year. And Stacy, the teen librarian, is on the lookout for teens who are interested in the Big Buddies for this awesome program. Can be picked up an application at the Lane Library. And if you have any questions about the Reading Buddies, please contact Stacy.
6th grade will be recycling today. Please leave your bins in the hallway. Thank you. For lunch today, there will be burgers, potato salad, cucumber salad, watermelon slice, and a juice pop.
Next week, 8th graders will be traveling to New York City. They will be departing from Hampton Academy at 6:15 and will arrive in New York City around noon. They will be visiting the Bronx Zoo, the Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, Times Square, and the top of the Rock. They'll also have a guided tour through New York and will see everything from Central Park to the 9/11 Museum. They'll finish their whirlwind trip with a dinner cruise taking off from Chelsea Piers. Here's wishing the 8th grade students and teachers a wonderful trip. We're all looking forward to seeing pictures.
I'm here with 6th grade Academy LA teacher Miss Clark and 6th grade student Jack Morgan. And we are here to talk about the Flint research project we've recently just finished up. So Miss Clark, what was the purpose of this project?
So this project is a way that we introduce a couple of things. Research, the process of taking a larger topic and breaking it down into smaller topics, and also how to work cooperatively as a group. And we try to take the research part of it and keep it interesting by using a current event.
That is really great. So Jack, what did you like about this project, and what was the feel of presenting?
I kind of liked how your group kind of worked together to make one big project, and it kind of felt accomplishing after you made this one big project, and how it just all came together and how it just worked out.
Totally. Thank you so much for being on Shark News.
Thanks, Bailey.
A trust fall is a group exercise in which a person deliberately allows him or herself to fall in order to be caught by someone or others in the group. The exercise is used by a variety of groups, organizations, and businesses to give the persons involved a sense of trust in one another. It is also designed to build team spirit among the members in order to help the group accomplish its goals. Phys Ed students have been learning and performing trust falls as a part of their group building activities. Take a look at this interview Angeline had with some 8th grade students, and check out the trust Mr. Fife demonstrates in his students.
Good morning, Hampton Academy Shark. I'm here with Drew Ryman, Jake Giacalone, and Brenna Bushy. Good morning. So, in gym, we were currently doing trust falls. So, Drew, how did you feel when you first fell?
I was kind of scared at first when we were doing it off the bleachers, but since they first caught me, I knew that I could trust them to catch me again.
Jake, what was your biggest challenge?
Our biggest challenge was catching the person.
And Brenna, what was your biggest fear?
That they wouldn't catch me.
Thank you for being on Shark News with us.
Last Thursday afternoon, the Hampton Academy Interact Club bussed up to Strawberry Bank and boarded the gundalow Piscataqua. They were given a safety lecture and the plan of the day for the sail. Mr. Considine divided the group into 3 watches, with 8th grade watch captains Jake Zachalarias, Lucas Rader, and Jack Ellis. The entire group got together to raise the sail. There are 3 learning stations on board, with adult instructors at each station as follows. 1. Charts and navigation. 2. Water cleanliness and analysis and testing. And 3. Human impact on the environment with the 3D watershed model. Approximately 20 minutes were spent at each station, with the 3 watches rotating between them. As this went on, all students also had an opportunity to steer the ship under the guidance of the captain. Again, the entire group got together and lowered the sail as we came back to our berth off Strawberry Bank. The weather was the perfect picture for the event, and a great time was had by all.
Good morning, Hampton Academy Sharks. 8 Hampton recently did a project in preparation for their transition to high school. Students did slide presentations on either an elective or required class at Winnacunnet. And if they're going to a different high school, then they did a required class or an elective from that high school. So right now I'm here with Cam Bean and Elizabeth Durant, and they participated in doing this project. So Cam, what did you do your presentation on?
I did mine on a Winnacunnet High School baseball team.
And Elizabeth, what did you do yours on?
I did mine on the World Language Department.
So Cam, what did you learn from doing this project?
I learned the requirements needed to play.
And Elizabeth, what did you learn from this?
I learned about the exchange program and the 8th grade placement exam.
Well, thank you to you both, and students are presenting their project to the class to help all students understand what they can expect when entering Winnacunnet in the fall.
Thank you. Thank you.
Last evening, the 6th grade held their annual Expo of the Americas, an ancient history museum. The Expo of the Americas, run by 6 Hampton, featured the ancient America civilizations of the Incas, Mayas, and Aztecs, which the social studies students have been studying. Students had to create a trifold display and come up with a business idea based on their research of the various cultures. They're acting as young entrepreneurs and selling their products. All proceeds will fund their trip to Hammond Castle. The Ancient History Museum was run by 6 Academy and featured all their learning from their study of history ranging from the Stone Age to the Middle Ages. They will have displays, artifacts, and even demonstrations. Take a look at the interview Bailey got with the students and teachers in the preparation for the event, and some pictures from the event itself.
I'm here with 6th grade social studies teacher from the Academy team, Miss Winger. So what are some different aspects and different things that are going to be in this museum?
Well, my students are going to be introducing all of the projects that they did over the course of a year, which you'll know about because you were in my class. But in addition, they're having an experience as though they were workers in a real museum. So in addition to the fee that's paid to come into the museum, those fees as tickets will be redistributed to the students as their pay for having worked in the museum, and then they'll be able to purchase things with them. So it's a sort of combination of revisiting all of the projects we've done and our units of study, as well as a new unit on economics.
That covers a lot. Thank you for being on Shark News. Now I'm here with one of the 6th grade Team Academy students, also one of the students are Miss Swingers and one of my classmates, Ella Clark. So, how are you involved in the process of making this event happen?
We've been taking our class time and taking out the posters from our past units, and we've been making them neat to hang them up.
That's great. Thank you for being on Shark News, Ella.
Thank you for having
Now I'm here
me.
with Miss Grand, a social studies teacher from Team Hampton. So, Miss Grand, what are some aspects of the Expo?
In my class, students had to research one of the ancient American civilizations, the Incans, Mayans, or Aztecs, and then they had to be hopefully inspired by them to come up with an economic business proposal that they would try to sell at this expo.
That's great. Thank you for being on Shark News.
Thank you.
I'm here with one of Miss Grand's students from Team Hampton, Lily Garno. So, how were you involved in making this expo happen?
So, each group had a trifold, and they picked a civilization to research, and then they put interesting facts about that civilization on it, and then they made a product to go with it.
That's really cool. Thank you for being on Shark News, Lily.
Thank you.
And now for the weather. We did not have any weather photos sent in this week, so if you have a photo of what's going on outside, the weather, send that in, sharknews@hamptonsd.com. Taking a look at our allergies. Allergies today aren't going to be so bad. The allergies tomorrow and Sunday are actually going to be quite bad. If you have a pollen allergy, you're definitely going to watch out for that. Breathing quality, however, is very good. So taking a look at our day planner for today. Today is going to be a washout, just like yesterday afternoon. 8 a.m. you're seeing 51 degrees and the rain moves in. It moved in last night and now we're going to see it continue throughout the day today. Noon and 4 o'clock, the highest temperature we get is 56, but you are seeing that rain. It still moves through throughout the day. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, it seems like rain is a recurring theme in our 5-day forecast. The only 2 days that are dry are Saturday and Sunday with a high of 62 and 65. Monday, for those Memorial Day barbecues, you might have to have those inside because it looks like it is going to be raining on Monday as well. And Tuesday, it looks like that rain is going to continue from Monday into Tuesday. Now, if you are going to New York, we do have good news for you going to New York. Wednesday, the day you get to New York, this is the weather in New York, by the way. 74 degrees, partly sunny skies, 75 on Thursday. Friday cools down a little bit and we are seeing a chance of rain. But remember, that forecast is still a ways out, so that can still change a little bit as we're looking at our forecast for New York. So that's your weather. I'm Tyler Hughes.
Celebrating their birthdays on Saturday are Quinn McNeil and Camden Woods. Celebrating on Sunday is Ava Morbido. Happy birthday, Quinn, Cam, and Ava.
And remember,
Before you speak,
text or email,
ask yourself,
is it kind?
is it true?
And is it necessary?
And remember the Academy way.
Manage yourself
Act responsibly.
and respect yourself and others.
Go out there and make it a great day.